My name is George. I am a person who likes to build and invent things, and I recently posted a brief video of this 46-inch LED light bar that I constructed. Now this isn't the first one I built, but this is definitely the better one of the two. I'll post another one once I get my vehicle back, the first one I built. But this is way better. I engineered it much better and designed it much better. The other one was great, but you know, it had its little flaws here and there that I didn't like, so I decided to build this one. What you're looking at is inside. This has a wooden skeleton. Underneath this is a waterproof and weatherproof light, by the way, which I weatherproofed it myself. Inside there's a skeleton. That is, you can see where the lights don't meet the exact edge of the bar. So inside that, there's another cutout that runs the length of the bar on the inside. Now what I've done is I have added these long steel cables for wiring. One is the master ground, which reps as a full loop, and then there's two wires that go on the inside, which represent the alternating positive connection. So that's what that does. Now for mounting, of course I needed a mount that helps it stand up off the roof of the vehicle enough, but I also needed it to be sturdy and so it doesn't scratch the vehicle. But like I said, above all, it has to be sturdy. So what I did is I got these little plastic Tupperware containers, which I do need to paint for aesthetics, but you know, I didn't have time for that yet. I will soon though. But what I did is I screwed them onto the bottom, put some glue in there to support it a little more, and then I glued the lid on so it doesn't come off, and then I put some carpeting on the bottom that will keep the surface from scratching any paint on any vehicle. I designed this to be a universal fit so you can use it on any vehicle, and it's the same story all around. Now what I did is I made an adjustable system here. This is a flat elastic band that is hooked to this little pilot hook. That's what I call it. And this bar extend out and clamp onto the what's it called? The door jamb. And it is a very strong piece of metal. It won't bend, it won't bind, and what's great is it has, I don't know if you can see that, but there's another elastic band here that stretches. Now that is key to keeping this light bar stable on the vehicle. It keeps the wind from blowing it off or blowing it upwards. I test fitted this onto a Dodge Magnum, and it's currently on setting 3 of, yeah, it's on the 3rd setting for the tightness on the band. So it's not the widest roof in the world, but it's about medium size. It's a pretty wide vehicle, and it fit perfectly. And I could not twist the light bar physically with my own strength. And it's not as tight as it will go. It'll go tighter. But because it's carpeted fully, the elastic band has friction, and that prevents the band from unwanted expansion when your vehicle is underway and traveling. This has a simple control module, which I'll show you real quick. Here it is. That's what controls the lights. There's 3 cables that I've wrapped around, and there's just little holes that are drilled. Goes inside and it connects. They're soldered to those main steel wires that I was discussing earlier. Now, of course, I have a thin piece of plywood on the bottom and top There are several bolts holding this in place, and it has been fully waterproofed. I used the sealant, I painted it, and then I used the sealant on top of it. So it is got the color to it. So it has a nice aesthetic color. Probably should have painted the wood inside. I don't know if you can kind of see that up close. Same situation with the other one. However, you know, I didn't think of that at the time. And it's already constructed to where you can't go back and kind of do that. But, for the lens, basically there's no lens as far as focusing any beams or anything. But I just put some really thick packaging tape around it, and it's very thick. It was hard to work with, but it's been shrinked a little on the corners, as you can see, to seal it as much as possible, so rain won't get in. Even if it does, it's been treated, so it's not going to affect it. The other one wasn't sealed nearly as good, and it's been working perfectly fine. And it condensates some, but it still is very, very visible. You're not going to have an issue not seeing it. Even if it has condensated, you're going to see it. But, same story on here, same bracket, but it's a universal fit. And I guess without further ado, I should probably turn it on if you haven't seen the other video to let you see it. Okay, so right now it's on the solid white function. You can see it a little bit better. Going around. But as you can see, it's a very big light bar, and it's very noticeable. And now it's not too bright to where it's almost freakishly bright, but it is noticeable. And I got the lights on in the garage, you know, and it's not like it's dark. So there's one pattern, and there's the other. As you can see, I was talking about with the wiring, there's the every other pattern. Now the other one, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think 12 alternating lights. The other light bar I had only had 1, 2, I think it had 5 or 6. So it has double the amount of alternation between the two bands, which I'll have a comparison video to show you what that looks like. Now, I'll show you a pattern. This is called the Jump 3, and you can probably see why it's called that. Now, I like this pattern. It's very noticeable, and like I said, it's definitely bright. You're going to see this even in broad daylight. It's very, very noticeable. You're not going to miss it. This is called Jump 7, and what it does is you can slow the pattern down. You can see what it's actually doing in slow motion. So it's shifting. See, shift, solid, it goes shift, 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 solid, and then it goes out. So that's basically what it's doing in slow motion. Jump 3 is just shift, shift, off, shift, shift, off, shift, shift, off. So that's basically what that pattern is. Now you can do fade 3, which in slow motion is that same pattern, but you can speed it up to where see, it almost acts as like a wigwag. So that's pretty cool. It actually is remote controlled. It's a standard 44 key IR remote control that you can buy it off Amazon. But there's the, come on focus, there's jump 3, jump 7, fade 3, fade 7. There's fade 7, which is kind of like a more alert pattern. It does seem a little bit brighter because the LEDs have more time to fully illuminate, even though LEDs already illuminate very fast. Now it has a full flash, and again you can control the speed. Where it's almost like a hazard light. And again, it's the full 360 degree. Now I don't have any technology to computerize or microchip it to where you can have alley lights or anything like that, or even spotlights on the front and control the back separately. I just don't have the money and the technology to do that yet. But considering how little it costs to build this, it took a long time to build it, but considering how little it cost, it's a bargain. It's got more than enough function that most people would ever use it for. And compared to things at that price point, you know, none of them have as much function and build quality as this does. But like I said, there's that. Now there's also this function. If you speed it back up, it has an auto function, which it kind of goes through all the patterns. So that's what it does. It's going through all the patterns. Jump 3, jump 7, fade 3, fade 7. And then it goes through strobe. Which is great for when you're wanting to be noticed or anything like that. So I just thought you guys might enjoy this video, a more in-depth review of an overview of how this light bar was actually constructed, how it works. I'll try to make another video of putting it on the vehicle so you can kind of see how it works. But hopefully you have a good enough idea of how it works. Well, again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. In your comments, tell me what you think, and I want you to be for real. Tell me if you like the design, if you think it should be bigger, smaller. You know, it's supposed to be a universal fit, but I love your feedback. It's crucial to my inventions and building things, so please let me know what you think.